Okay, and this will be case 8223-708-489, State of Michigan versus Devontae Turner. Detective, your name for the record, please.
Detective Corporal Mark Johnston, sir. Taylor Police.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll provide in this matter will be true?
Yes, sir.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
From an investigative report, and this will be for Mr. Turner and Mr. Hoffman combined, sir.
Oh, correct. Defendant 2 is Dean Hal Hoffman. Okay, feel free to proceed.
Yes, sir. On 4/18/2023 at approximately 9:50 hours, Taylor officers were dispatched to Cypress on a reported robbery. Upon arriving at the scene, Corporal Kate spoke with the victim. Smith advised that he had been robbed inside of 65 West Point while being shown the home by an unknown white male. Smith advised that a taken male had then entered with a gun and a knife and robbed him for his wallet, car keys, phone, and wedding ring. The male stole his vehicle and told him to walk to the gas station to retrieve his vehicle. When he walked to the gas station, his vehicle was not there, and he called the police. During the time, officers located Smith's stolen vehicle in front of 6 Cornell. The rest of 6 Cornell advised officers he saw a male exit the vehicle and run westbound back towards West Point Street. Detective Oliver interviewed Smith at the Taylor Police Department. During this time, Smith advised that he was there to meet a male to have intercourse. The white male led him upstairs before making an excuse to leave and exited the house. A male then entered the room with a gun and a knife, assaulted him, pushed him down the stairs before taking his keys, phone, and wedding ring. The male then exited the house and took his vehicle. Based on Smith's description of the white male, Smith was provided a photo lineup. In this lineup, Smith selected Dean Hoffman as the male who led him upstairs. Detectives then executed a search warrant at 6 Point and observed a scene consistent with Smith's statement. On 4/19/2023, Detective Oliver was advised by the victim Smith that his stolen credit card had been fraudulently used for a WOW cable bill, Lyft, and a Google account. Detective Oliver contacted WOW and identified the owner of the cable account as Dean Hoffman at 6538 West Point. Detective Oliver then authored a search warrant for that residence. While conducting surveillance at the residence, detectives observed Hoffman and another male, later identified as Devontae Turner, enter into a vehicle after exiting the target residence. The vehicle was driven by a white female. The vehicle was then stopped by uniformed officers and the occupants were ordered out. The occupants were then secured and identified. While conducting a search of the vehicle, officers located Smith's stolen wedding ring under Turner's seat. Detectives then executed the search warrant at 6538 West Point. Inside Hoffman and Turner's room, detectives located stolen Michigan ID and credit cards, along with a CO2-powered BB gun and a black baklava-style mask. On 4/20, Detective Oliver interviewed Hoffman under Miranda. Hoffman advised that he's scheduled to meet Smith at 6546 West Point and to hang out. He scheduled the meeting over a dating app over his phone. When Smith got to the location, he led him upstairs. Smith agreed to pay his cable and phone bill if he committed sexual acts on him. While he did not want to do the sexual acts, they began arguing. Hoffman advised that his fiancée Turner was in the house to protect him. After arguing, all three were walking down the stairs, and Turner struck Smith. After Turner hit Smith, Smith fell to the ground and he exited the house. He returned to this point, and Turner returned a few minutes later. Turner provided him with the victim's credit card, and he paid the WOW bill and attempted to use the credit card on Lyft and Google Pay. When they were arrested, they were going to pawn the wedding ring. When asked, Hoffman stated Turner had the BB gun, but he did not know where he put it after the incident. After speaking with Hoffman, Detective Oliver spoke with Turner under Miranda. Turner advised that Hoffman planned to meet Smith at 6 Point. Hoffman went to the house for a short time and then returned back to Point. When Hoffman returned, he could see that he was upset, so he decided to go to West Point and speak with Smith about what had happened. When he entered the house, Smith was upstairs partially naked. He told Smith that it was his house, and he began questioning him about what he was doing. Smith tried to leave, and he continued to pressure him and eventually pushed him, causing him to fall down the stairs. He then advised that while he had a knife in his hand, Smith gave him his car keys. He then exited the house, drove Smith's vehicle to Cornell, stole the change out of the vehicle, and threw the keys underneath it. He then returned to 6 Point. Turner denied being in possession of a BB gun during. After speaking with Turner and Hoffman, detectives executed a search warrant on Hoffman's cell phone, which was used by both males. A text conversation on the phone confirmed that Hoffman and Turner had traded Smith's phone for narcotics and they intended on pawning Smith's wedding ring.
Got it.
That is it.
Thank you. I do find probable cause to sign the warrant. Ms. White.
Rita White on behalf of Mr. Oh, I don't see them in the screen.
Oh, are the defendants there, Detective?
1 second. All right, let me get the jailer to get them in there. I'm sorry about that. Hey, do you want to run down with Noah? Get them in the poly camera. Hey, is Noah right there? Can you have him take those two guys? Phil's gonna come meet him down to the iPad and unmute it. Okay. Yeah, take those. Sorry about that, Judge. He's getting them right now to put in front of the iPad.
Okay, thank you.
They're in the door.
All right. Good morning, sir. What's your name, please?
Devontae Turner?
All right. And is Mr. Hoffman there as well?
No.
Detective, do you have them both or just one?
Your Honor, did you want both at the same time? You want to do one back to back?
No, we can do them together.
Okay, we'll go grab 1 second.
Okay.
Step up here.
All right. Good morning, sir. What is your name, please?
Dean Hoffman?
Thank you. This will be case 8223-708-489, State of Michigan versus Devontae Turner and Dean Hal Hoffman. Counsel.
Rita White on behalf of Mr. Devontae Turner and Dean Hal Hoffman. Your Honor, I have had a chance to speak with both individuals and have advised them of their rights and the nature of this type of hearing. With that, both will waive formal reading, stand mute.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on their behalf as to bond.
With regards to Mr. Turner, he is 30 years old. He represents that he has no prior assaulted felony convictions. He grew up in the state of Ohio. However, he is currently, I believe, residing in Taylor, Michigan. These are serious charges. However, he is aware that there will be a no contact order entered in which he will comply with to have no contact with the complainant on this matter. And Your Honor, with that, we are requesting a very reasonable bond, ideally a personal bond, and if the court so chooses, with tether.
Thank you. Are either of them working?
No, however, Mr. Turner is on parole. I'm not, it hasn't been confirmed whether there has been a flag in terms of a hold being placed on his parole. So no, Mr. Turner is not working. And neither is Mr. Hoffman, but I do want to address bond regarding Hoffman also.
Feel free to do so.
Yes, with regards to Mr. Hoffman, he is 36 years old. He lives with his mother, along with Mr. Turner also lives with the mother of Mr. Hoffman. He does not have any assaultive prior felony convictions, no capious history, along with Mr. Turner, no capious history. They both are aware of the seriousness of this charge, and as a result, either way, they will comply with the bond conditions that the court orders, such as no contact with the complainant, stay out of trouble, and report for all of their court hearings. With that, we are requesting you allow them both to be released on a ideally personal bond, if not a very nominal bond, and if the court so chooses, with tether.
Thank you. And what is Mr. Turner on parole for?
Your Honor, he's on parole for a matter out of Ohio. I believe, is it the weapon charge, Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The weapon charge, no assaultive connections to it.
Okay. So, you know, I mean, this is pretty concerning. We've got 2 life offenses, armed robbery, carjacking. The way this fact pattern reads raises a significant amount of concern for this court with regard to safety of the community. Apparently, the complainant was lured into a home under false pretenses and then robbed at gunpoint. And then certain transactions were made fraudulently using his credit cards. It's just. So here's what we'll do. For both defendants, there'll be no contact with the complainant, Mr. Smith. Neither one of you is to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. Should you post bond, you'll both be on GPS tethers on house arrest. If you leave your house, you're going back to jail. Do you both understand all of that?
Yes, Your Honor, but if there's if we're able to, because I was supposed to have an interview on Tuesday, if we're able to be employed, will we be allowed to leave for our job and come back home?
Yes, if you
Okay,
if you
I
do get
have an interview on
employment,
Tuesday.
all right, if you do get employment, you will be able to go to work only. Other than that, you need to be at home. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, as to Mr. Turner, being on parole for some sort of gun conviction and then finding himself caught up in this, court will set bond for Mr. Turner at $250,000 cash or surety. And as to Mr. Hoffman, court will set bond at $100,000 cash or surety. Next court dates are May the 1st for probable cause date and May the 8th for preliminary exam, both in 23rd District Court in Taylor. Anything further, counsel?
Your Honor, what does cash surety mean?
It means that you have to post that amount in cash, or you can have a bail bondsman post for you, and they would accept some percentage of that in order to post it.
Your Honor, with regards to both individuals, they have been unable or prohibited from making phone calls. Clearly, we see this bond, they should have free due process to be able to make calls to speak with third parties regarding their bond release. So we're requesting that you make sure the officers allow them to make their phone calls.
Sure. Detective Johnston, can you ensure that they get an opportunity to contact family or someone?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anything else for the record?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Detective. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. You as well.